Hello there, and welcome to the Sleepy Science Channel. Tonight, we are going to drift into the hidden world of the mind, a place that works tirelessly beneath the surface, shaping who we are, what we feel, and even how we dream. This is the realm of the subconscious, a vast and mysterious part of ourselves that never rests, never switches off, and holds secrets our waking minds may never know. Scientists believe that nearly everything we do, from the smallest reflex to the grandest idea, is touched in some way by the subconscious. It remembers what we forget. It learns while we sleep. It notices things before we ever become aware. In many ways, the subconscious is the silent pilot of our lives, guiding us quietly, invisibly, through every moment. If you enjoy these gentle journeys, feel free to like and subscribe, or share a thought down in the comments. It helps others find their way here too, one sleepy soul at a time. But for now, settle in, let the day drift away, and allow yourself to relax as we embark on this fascinating journey into the mind. Let's begin. A surprisingly large amount of the brain is devoted to the subconscious. Most of what the brain does never reaches awareness. Neuroscientists estimate that only about 5% of mental activity shows up in the conscious mind, leaving the remaining 95% hidden in the subconscious. This unseen realm manages an astonishing range of functions. It directs heartbeat, breathing, digestion, and posture. It organizes memories, interprets sensations, and guides behavior. Even decisions that feel deliberate are often shaped by subconscious processes before awareness arrives. To imagine that nearly all mental life unfolds in this hidden territory is both humbling and extraordinary. It means that the conscious mind, the part that reads, worries, and plans, is only a sliver of the story. Beneath it lies a vast system that never stops working, steering you through the world silently, efficiently, and almost invisibly. Recognizing this is like realizing that the visible surface of the ocean conceals an entire planet of currents below. Your subconscious can prepare decisions several seconds before you know them. Choice feels immediate. You weigh options, make a decision, and then act. Yet experiments in neuroscience have revealed something startling. Brain scans show that patterns of subconscious activity appear up to several seconds before participants report deciding. In other words, the subconscious begins preparing the decision long before the conscious mind claims ownership of it. This does not necessarily erase free will, but it does change how we imagine it. The conscious mind may be less a commander than a narrator, announcing choices that were already set in motion. The subconscious collects cues from memory, experience, and emotion, then hands the outcome upward, as if the conscious mind had created it on the spot. It feels instantaneous, but beneath the surface, it has been unfolding quietly. This finding suggests that the roots of our decisions stretch deeper than awareness, hidden in a place we can never quite see. The subconscious never shuts down, even when you are asleep. While the conscious mind rests during sleep, the subconscious continues working tirelessly. It monitors your environment, ready to wake you at the faintest sign of danger. It organizes memories, deciding which details to keep and which to fade. It rehearses skills practiced during the day, strengthening the pathways needed for learning. Dreams emerge from this activity, weaving fragments of thought into surreal stories that echo unresolved concerns. Even the body's systems are maintained through subconscious control, heart rate, breathing, and temperature regulation never pause. In this sense, sleep is not inactivity, but an invisible shift of labor. The conscious mind withdraws, but the subconscious takes the night shift, ensuring survival, memory, and balance continue. You awaken each morning with refined skills, adjusted emotions, and a refreshed sense of clarity. Sleep feels like silence, yet beneath it all, your subconscious hums ceaselessly, never switching off, never resting. Most of your lifelong habits are stored in the subconscious. Once an action is repeated enough times, it is passed into the subconscious as an automatic routine. Tying shoes, brushing teeth, or steering a car down a familiar street can all be performed without deliberate effort because they have been coded into subconscious patterns. This transfer saves precious mental energy, allowing the conscious mind to focus on new challenges. But it also means habits, good or bad, are difficult to change. The subconscious does not judge them. It simply follows the grooves carved by repetition. To break an old habit requires creating new patterns strong enough to override the old ones. The same system that resists change, however, also makes growth possible. By rehearsing new routines again and again, the subconscious can be reshaped. Every daily ritual, whether helpful or harmful, is evidence of the subconscious quietly scripting behavior behind the scenes. The subconscious processes millions of signals, while your conscious mind handles only a few dozen. Conscious awareness is astonishingly limited. At any given moment, you may notice a handful of sensations: the sound of a voice, the meaning of words, the weight of a blanket. Yet beneath this narrow stream, the subconscious is processing millions of signals simultaneously. It tracks movement in peripheral vision, filters sounds in the background, monitors body position, and adjusts balance. It regulates temperature, hunger, and pain. All of this happens invisibly while your conscious attention is directed elsewhere. Imagine standing in a bustling crowd. Voices echo, footsteps pound, scents mingle. You hear only what you focus on, yet the subconscious quietly registers nearly everything, prepared to alert you if something matters. Consciousness is like a narrow spotlight, while the subconscious is the entire stage crew, setting lights, moving scenery, and keeping the show running without applause. Early childhood experiences are etched deeply into the subconscious. The earliest years of life shape the subconscious in ways that last for decades. During this time, the brain is forming connections at extraordinary speed. Experiences of comfort, safety, fear, or neglect are encoded in patterns that influence future behavior and emotion. These implicit memories may not be available to conscious recall. Most adults cannot clearly remember infancy or early toddlerhood, but they live on in the subconscious. A child soothed in distress may carry an enduring sense of trust, while early instability may seed anxieties that surface later without explanation. Psychologists often describe these as emotional imprints. They are written not in words, but in the hidden codes of the brain's circuitry. As a result, the subconscious becomes a kind of silent diary of early life, filled with pages you cannot read yet, that still guide how you react, bond, and perceive the world. The subconscious is faster at detecting threats than conscious thought. Survival has always depended on speed. When a shadow shifts unexpectedly or a shape resembles a predator, the subconscious reacts almost instantly. Muscles tense, the heart races, adrenaline surges, all before the conscious mind can evaluate what is happening. This rapid reaction comes from specialized brain circuits tuned to threat detection. They evolved to give humans an edge in dangerous environments, where hesitation could mean disaster. Conscious analysis follows afterward, labeling the source of fear and deciding what to do next. Sometimes this results in false alarms, mistaking a stick for a snake. But the cost of overreacting is far lower than the cost of being too slow. In this way, the subconscious acts as an ancient guardian, trained by millions of years of evolution to protect you faster than awareness ever could. Its first priority is always safety, not accuracy. Creative insights often surface from subconscious connections. Some of the greatest ideas seem to arrive out of nowhere: a melody in a dream, a scientific breakthrough on a walk, a solution in the shower. These sudden insights are often the result of subconscious processing. While the conscious mind struggles to solve a problem, the subconscious continues weaving connections in the background. It draws from memory, experience, and emotion, linking elements in unexpected ways. When the hidden pattern is complete, it bursts into awareness as inspiration. Psychologists call this incubation, the period when stepping away from a problem allows the subconscious to keep working silently. Artists, writers, and inventors frequently rely on this hidden process, trusting that the answer will emerge if they give it space. Creativity, in many cases, is the conscious mind finally listening to what the subconscious has been whispering all along. Subliminal cues can reach the subconscious without you noticing. Not all signals are strong enough to break into awareness. An image flashed for a fraction of a second, a word spoken too quietly to register, or a faint scent drifting past can still be detected by the subconscious. These subliminal cues bypass conscious attention, but can influence mood, preference, or perception. A subtle background sound might increase alertness. A faint aroma could spark a craving without explanation. Experiments have shown that these unnoticed details can alter behavior, though never with absolute control. They are nudges, not commands. The discovery of subliminal influence reveals how much the subconscious absorbs outside awareness. Life is constantly filled with hidden inputs shaping experience, like invisible threads weaving into the fabric of thought. Even when you believe you have ignored something, part of you has quietly stored it away, ready to color your emotions and choices later. Micro-expressions on your face are controlled by the subconscious. The face is capable of revealing secrets in less than a second. Micro-expressions are tiny flashes of emotion, a twitch of anger, a flicker of fear, a spark of joy that last only fractions of a moment. They are too quick for conscious control, but the subconscious directs them automatically. Because of this, they often reveal feelings people might prefer to hide. A forced smile may cover irritation, but a split-second flash of tension around the eyes tells the truth. These signals are part of an ancient emotional communication system, evolved to ensure honesty even when words deceive. Trained observers can learn to detect them, but most of the time they pass unnoticed, shaping interactions quietly. Every conversation is therefore layered, the conscious story spoken in words, and the subconscious story flickering across the face, written in expressions too fast to disguise. Posture changes often begin subconsciously before you feel an emotion. The body reacts before the mind catches up. When anxiety rises, shoulders tense and hunch inward even before you identify the feeling. When joy sparks, the chest opens, and the chin lifts without conscious instruction. These subtle shifts in posture are orchestrated by the subconscious, translating inner states into physical signals that others can read. Sometimes the sequence is reversed. Adjusting posture can influence the subconscious, creating feelings of confidence or calm. Standing tall or relaxing the shoulders can change mood because the subconscious interprets these bodily cues as emotional evidence. This two-way dialogue between body and subconscious highlights how deeply the hidden mind is entwined with physical presence. We do not merely feel and then act. The subconscious makes emotion and posture part of the same language, constantly translating the unseen into movements you may not even realize you are performing. The subconscious scans your surroundings for danger constantly. Even when you are relaxed, sipping a drink or daydreaming, part of your brain is on silent alert. The subconscious continuously monitors the environment, scanning for threats. A sudden movement, a shift in sound, or a flicker in the corner of the eye can trigger instant attention before you understand why. This ancient vigilant system is deeply rooted in evolution. Long before civilization, survival depended on noticing predators or enemies in time to escape. Today, though the dangers are fewer, the subconscious still acts as watchman. It filters every sound, every movement, every shadow, and raises alarms when something is unusual. Often, you feel this as a faint unease or the sense of being watched. It is the subconscious warning system, always humming, always awake, even when the conscious mind is absorbed elsewhere. It is proof that a part of you never stops guarding the world around you. Gut feelings are shaped by subconscious pattern recognition. Intuition often feels mysterious, as if guided by something outside logic. But gut feelings usually come from subconscious pattern recognition. The brain has absorbed countless experiences, storing details the conscious mind forgets. When faced with a new situation, the subconscious compares it against this vast archive, spotting similarities and issuing a signal, often felt as a hunch or instinct. A doctor may sense a diagnosis before the evidence is clear. A chess master may know the best move instantly. The conscious mind cannot articulate the reasoning because it was never part of the calculation. What feels like magic is really the subconscious processing faster and deeper than deliberate thought. This is why intuition is sometimes startlingly accurate. The subconscious has been working all along, silently analyzing, quietly whispering an answer in the form of a gut feeling. Smells can trigger subconscious memories instantly. A single scent can unlock the past with surprising force. The smell of a childhood meal, a whiff of perfume, or the faint aroma of rain on pavement can transport you instantly back in time. This powerful effect occurs because the olfactory system is closely wired to areas of the brain that handle memory and emotion. Unlike other senses, smell bypasses many conscious filters, sending signals directly to the subconscious. As a result, smells often stir emotions before you can identify the source. You may suddenly feel comforted, uneasy, or nostalgic without knowing why. Scientists call this the Proust phenomenon, named after the writer Marcel Proust, who described memories flooding back through taste and smell. These subconscious links demonstrate how deeply sensory experiences are etched into the brain, waiting silently until the right aroma drifts past and brings the forgotten vividly alive again. Muscle memory lives in the subconscious. Complex skills like riding a bicycle, typing on a keyboard, or playing a musical instrument feel effortless after enough practice. This is because the instructions are stored in subconscious memory networks. Instead of actively thinking through every step, the subconscious takes over, guiding the body with precision and speed. Athletes and musicians often describe this as being in the zone, a state where conscious thought recedes and performance flows automatically. Muscle memory is not stored in the muscles themselves, but in the brain's circuits, which coordinate movement so smoothly that it seems instinctive. Once ingrained, these patterns can last for years, even if unused. Picking up a bicycle after decades away often feels natural because the subconscious has preserved the program. It is a reminder that much of learning is not about memorizing facts, but about embedding actions in the hidden architecture of the mind. Athletes rely on the subconscious for rapid reflexes. In the heat of competition, there is no time for deliberation. A tennis player returns a serve traveling at incredible speed. A goalkeeper dives to block a shot with barely a fraction of a second to react. These feats are possible because the subconscious handles reflexes far faster than conscious thought. Hours of practice train neural circuits until they become automatic, stored as subconscious routines. When the moment comes, the body moves instantly, guided by hidden processes that bypass hesitation. Athletes often describe the sensation of reacting without thinking, as if something deeper took control. This is not mystical but neurological. The subconscious manages the split-second timing required for success, while the conscious mind often follows a moment later, narrating what just happened. It is a partnership where speed belongs to the subconscious and reflection comes afterward. Dreams are the subconscious experimenting with unresolved ideas. Dreams may seem random, but many theories suggest they are the subconscious exploring unfinished business. Fragments of memory, unspoken fears, and hidden desires are woven into strange narratives. A stressful event may replay symbolically, or an unsolved problem may be rehearsed in metaphorical form. During dreaming, the subconscious is freer, unconstrained by logic or external demands. This allows it to test scenarios, combine ideas, and experiment with possibilities the waking mind would dismiss. Some scientists believe this helps with emotional regulation, memory consolidation, and creative problem-solving. The bizarre imagery of dreams is the subconscious speaking in symbols, reshuffling life's puzzle pieces in search of meaning. While not every dream carries a hidden message, many serve as glimpses into the subconscious at play, revealing that even in sleep, the hidden mind is busy processing the unresolved stories of your life. Hypnosis communicates directly with the subconscious. Under hypnosis, the conscious mind is quieted, and the subconscious becomes more accessible. In this state, suggestions bypass normal resistance and can influence perception, sensation, or behavior. Hypnosis has been used to reduce pain, overcome phobias, and break habits by speaking directly to subconscious patterns. People under hypnosis often remain aware, but their attention is narrowed, allowing deeper layers of the mind to be reached. The subconscious responds not by surrendering control, but by becoming more open to alternative pathways. While popular culture dramatizes hypnosis as mind control, in reality, it is a focused state where the subconscious is more receptive. This reveals how much of behavior is guided by hidden processes and how, with the right cues, those processes can be gently adjusted. Hypnosis shows that beneath awareness lies a malleable system ready to shift when spoken to in its own language. The subconscious edits speech before you speak it. When words leave your mouth, it feels as if they emerge fully formed from thought. But in reality, the subconscious has already shaped them. The brain prepares speech milliseconds before you become aware of it, checking for grammar, tone, and appropriateness. Missteps are often corrected subconsciously before they ever reach sound. Occasionally, a slip of the tongue reveals the hidden process, a word chosen too quickly, or a thought accidentally spoken aloud. These errors show the subconscious machinery that usually operates invisibly, fine-tuning language before it becomes public. It is a remarkable system, allowing humans to speak fluently and rapidly without conscious planning of each word. Speech feels natural only because the subconscious is constantly drafting, editing, and releasing sentences in real time, a hidden author ensuring communication keeps flowing without pause. The placebo effects are driven largely by subconscious belief. When a person takes a sugar pill believing it is medicine, real physical changes can occur. Pain relief, reduced anxiety, even measurable shifts in brain chemistry. This is the placebo effect, and it depends heavily on subconscious belief. The mind accepts the expectation of healing and transmits it into the body, activating natural systems of relief. Even when people consciously know a pill is inert, the subconscious may still respond if ritual and trust are strong enough. The placebo effect reveals the astonishing influence of the subconscious on physiology. Belief itself becomes medicine, showing that health is not only a physical process, but also a deeply psychological one. It is a powerful reminder that the subconscious does not merely shape emotions or habits, it can also reach into the body's chemistry, bridging thought and biology in ways science is still learning to understand. The subconscious regulates your heartbeat and breathing without pause. Every moment of your life, the subconscious keeps you alive. It directs your heartbeat, adjusts your breathing, balances blood pressure, and coordinates countless other functions without conscious involvement. These automatic systems belong to the autonomic nervous system, managed largely by subconscious processes. If you had to consciously regulate each breath or every beat of your heart, life would be impossible. Instead, the subconscious runs these programs flawlessly in the background, freeing the conscious mind for thought and action. Yet you can influence these systems indirectly. Slowing breathing can calm the heart, and meditation can lower blood pressure. This shows that while the subconscious holds the controls, the conscious mind can occasionally lean in to adjust. The balance between the two ensures survival, with the subconscious as the steady, tireless caretaker of life's essential rhythms. Eye movements often reveal subconscious emotions. The eyes often move in ways you do not control, reflecting subconscious processes. Rapid darting may reveal nervousness, while steady focus can show determination. Eye direction has been linked to memory access, glancing upward or sideways when recalling information, for example. Even pupil size changes subconsciously, widening in response to attraction or interest, shrinking with discomfort or stress. These shifts happen too quickly for conscious regulation, but they speak volumes to careful observers. In many cases, people trust the eyes more than words, sensing truth in what is revealed there. The subconscious, constantly shaping attention and emotion, leaves its traces in the tiny motions of the eyes. Every glance, blink, and dilation is part of an unspoken language, revealing feelings even when the conscious mind chooses silence. Déjà vu may emerge from subconscious memory errors. The eerie sensation of déjà vu, the feeling that a moment has already happened, is thought to arise from subconscious memory processing. One explanation is that sensory information briefly takes the wrong neural pathway, causing the subconscious to treat it as a memory rather than a new experience. Another theory suggests that déjà vu occurs when the subconscious detects a similarity between the present and a forgotten past event, triggering recognition without context. Either way, the phenomenon highlights how the subconscious manages memory behind the scenes. Conscious awareness interprets it as familiarity without reason, leaving you unsettled. Déjà vu demonstrates how fragile and complex the relationship between memory and perception is, reminding us that the subconscious sometimes stumbles, creating illusions that feel both mysterious and strangely profound. Phobias are stored as subconscious fear responses. A person with a fear of spiders may panic at the sight of even a harmless one, and someone with a fear of flying may feel terror before boarding a plane. These reactions are not deliberate, but emerge from subconscious fear circuits. Phobias are often rooted in past experiences or inherited warning systems, etched so deeply that logic cannot erase them. The subconscious responds as if danger is present, flooding the body with fear. Therapy often involves gradually retraining the subconscious through exposure, teaching it that the feared object is not truly threatening. Until then, the subconscious continues to react automatically, protecting in its own way, even when protection is unnecessary. Phobias reveal the stubborn strength of subconscious memory, showing how powerful and enduring fear can be once it is embedded beneath awareness. The subconscious can misinterpret harmless cues as threats. Not every alarm raised by the subconscious is accurate. Sometimes it interprets neutral signals as dangerous, activating fear when none is needed. A creak in the house at night may spark unease. A stranger's glance may feel threatening. These reactions come from ancient systems designed to favor caution. Better to mistake a shadow for a predator, the brain decided, than to miss real danger. This bias means the subconscious sometimes errs on the side of fear. Over time, repeated false alarms can feed into anxiety disorders where the subconscious treats harmless cues as constant threats. Yet the system exists because of its evolutionary success. Human survival has always depended more on vigilance than on perfect accuracy. The subconscious may overreact, but in doing so, it ensures that the body is always prepared, even if the conscious mind insists there is nothing to fear. Humor often arises from subconscious recognition of surprise. Laughter is one of humanity's strangest reflexes. It often bursts forth without conscious control, triggered by something unexpected. Many scientists believe humor depends on the subconscious detecting a violation of expectation, a twist, a surprise, a clever mismatch. The conscious mind then interprets it as funny, but the reaction often begins deeper. This explains why jokes lose power once they are predictable. The subconscious must be startled to find joy in the contrast. Even tickling may work in part because it hijacks this system, surprising the body with unexpected sensations. Humor shows that the subconscious delights in discovery, rewarding the brain for finding patterns and then breaking them. Laughter is not just entertainment, but a glimpse into the playful side of the subconscious, a reminder that even the hidden mind has a sense of surprise and joy. Facial recognition is handled mostly by the subconscious. When you see a familiar face in a crowd, recognition is nearly instantaneous. You do not consciously analyze each feature. The subconscious processes the image in specialized regions of the brain designed for faces. This system is so fast and efficient that you may notice recognition before you know who the person is. Damage to these subconscious pathways can lead to prosopagnosia or face blindness, where people can no longer identify even loved ones by sight. The speed of subconscious facial recognition highlights how much of social interaction depends on unseen processes. It is one of the brain's most specialized abilities, honed over millennia of human evolution. Every smile you recognize, every glance you interpret, is made possible by the subconscious, scanning features at lightning speed and handing the result to the conscious mind as an effortless feeling of familiarity. Language rhythm is mirrored subconsciously during conversation. When people talk, their rhythms often synchronize without effort. Speech patterns, pauses, and intonation subtly align, a process guided by the subconscious. This mirroring builds connection, making interactions smoother and more comfortable. You may find yourself matching the pace or tone of a friend without realizing it. This subconscious synchronization is part of what makes conversation feel natural. It reflects the brain's hidden talent for tracking patterns and adjusting in real time. Researchers believe this mimicry helps build trust and understanding, reinforcing social bonds. You are not aware of making these adjustments. The subconscious handles them quietly, shaping speech into harmony with others. Every conversation is therefore more than words. It is a duet conducted partly by the subconscious, weaving voices into a rhythm that creates connection beneath awareness. Subconscious mimicry helps build social trust. Beyond language, the subconscious also imitates gestures, expressions, and posture during interaction. This mirroring often happens without awareness, crossing arms when the other person does, leaning forward when they lean forward, or smiling in response to their smile. Such mimicry is subtle but powerful. It signals empathy and creates rapport, helping people feel understood and connected. Experiments show that individuals are more likely to trust and cooperate with those who mirror them subconsciously. This effect reveals how much of social bonding occurs beneath awareness. The subconscious orchestrates these micro-adjustments, creating harmony that smooths human interaction. By the time the conscious mind notices comfort or trust, the subconscious has already laid the groundwork. building invisible bridges of connection through imitation too quiet to see, but strong enough to bind. Blushing is triggered by subconscious emotional signals. Few reactions are as uncontrollable as blushing. A sudden rush of blood colors the cheeks, often in response to embarrassment, attention, or attraction. This response is not commanded by the conscious mind, but by subconscious emotional circuits. The body interprets social exposure or heightened emotion as a cue to signal honesty, flushing the skin as if to confess. Even trying not to blush often makes it worse, because attention only amplifies the subconscious trigger. Scientists believe blushing may have evolved as a social signal, demonstrating sincerity and vulnerability. Whatever its origin, it remains one of the clearest examples of the subconscious acting independently of will. You cannot choose to blush or not. It is the subconscious speaking directly through the body, revealing feelings in a language as old as humanity itself. The subconscious coordinates balance and walking. Every step you take is far more complex than it feels. Walking requires the precise coordination of hundreds of muscles, the constant adjustment of posture, and the integration of signals from the eyes, inner ear, and body sensors. Yet you are rarely aware of any of this. The subconscious handles balance automatically, keeping you upright on uneven ground, adjusting stride when the floor slopes, or catching you if you stumble. Even the rhythm of walking is guided subconsciously, allowing conversation or thought to continue while the body moves without supervision. When balance is disrupted, as on a swaying boat, you suddenly realize how much work the subconscious does to keep you steady. It is a background orchestra of movement, a system honed through evolution to let you walk, run, or dance with grace, all while your conscious mind is free to wander elsewhere. Yawning contagion comes from subconscious empathy. A yawn is simple, but its contagiousness is extraordinary. Seeing someone yawn, hearing it, or even reading about it can trigger yawning in others. This reflex is linked to subconscious empathy. The brain, equipped with mirror neurons, automatically simulates the states it observes in others. When one person yawns, the subconscious interprets it as a cue to align, producing a yawn in response. Interestingly, the effect is strongest among close friends and family, suggesting a deep social bond. Even animals like chimpanzees and dogs show contagious yawning, reinforcing the idea that it is tied to social connection and empathy. It is not about oxygen intake as once believed, but about the subconscious synchronizing states across a group. Each shared yawn is an invisible signal. I feel what you feel. In this way, the subconscious forges unity, binding individuals together with a reflex that bypasses conscious control. Implicit bias is a subconscious phenomenon. Prejudice often operates not through deliberate malice, but through subconscious bias. These are hidden preferences and associations formed through culture, experience, and repetition. A person may consciously believe in equality while subconsciously associating certain groups with stereotypes. Implicit biases influence decisions in hiring, education, and daily interactions without awareness. They are measured through tests that detect subtle reaction times, revealing subconscious leanings that words cannot capture. While biases may not align with conscious values, they still shape perception and behavior. Recognizing this is the first step toward change. Training and awareness can gradually retrain the subconscious, reducing the automatic associations it has learned. Implicit bias shows how powerful the subconscious is in shaping social behavior and how important it is to understand the forces guiding us beneath the surface. It is a reminder that self-knowledge requires looking not only at what we believe, but also at what we feel without realizing it. Mirror neurons drive subconscious imitation of others. When you watch someone smile, wince in pain, or grasp an object, your brain activates in ways similar to theirs. This happens because of mirror neurons, brain cells that fire both when you perform an action and when you see someone else perform it. They allow you to subconsciously simulate the experiences of others. This system is thought to underlie empathy, learning, and social connection. When a child imitates an adult, or when you flinch at seeing someone stub a toe, mirror neurons are at work. Much of this happens beneath awareness, as the subconscious mirrors behavior automatically. It is why laughter spreads, why accents shift, and why emotions ripple through groups. Mirror neurons are the hidden translators between self and other, blending personal experience with the perception of those around you. Through them, the subconscious becomes a bridge, allowing one mind to echo the feelings of another. The subconscious tracks time more precisely than you expect. You may not consciously notice the passing of minutes or hours, yet the subconscious often keeps accurate track of time. Many people can wake up without an alarm at the exact moment they intended, guided by subconscious monitoring of internal rhythms. Musicians and athletes rely on subconscious timing to perform sequences with perfect rhythm, often faster than conscious counting could manage. Even during dreams, the subconscious preserves a sense of duration, allowing short naps to feel long or long sleep cycles to pass unnoticed. Scientists believe the subconscious monitors biological clocks, heartbeat patterns, and environmental cues, weaving them into an internal timekeeper. Conscious awareness of time is often distorted by attention and mood, but beneath it lies a steadier rhythm maintained invisibly. The subconscious may not tell you the hour, but it ensures your body and mind stay aligned with the hidden flow of time. Your subconscious notices when someone is staring at you. Many people have experienced the eerie sensation of being watched, turning around to find it true. Research suggests this may come from subconscious sensitivity to subtle cues. The subconscious processes peripheral vision and micro-movements, detecting when another person's gaze is directed at you. The conscious mind may not notice these details, but the subconscious assembles them into a signal of attention. Evolution may have sharpened this awareness, since detecting a predator's stare could mean survival. Even in modern settings, the subconscious continues to monitor the social environment, alerting you when eyes linger. The phenomenon demonstrates the subconscious as a constant observer, tracking signals that never reach deliberate thought. It is why a glance across a crowded room can be felt even before it is seen. The subconscious has already noticed, whispering to the body that you are not alone. Peripheral vision is constantly processed subconsciously. While conscious attention is focused at the center of vision, the subconscious handles the rest. Peripheral vision is sensitive to movement, shape, and contrast, and the subconscious constantly scans it for change. This is why something darting at the edge of sight instantly captures attention. The subconscious has flagged it before you consciously know. In ancient environments, this allowed early humans to spot predators or rivals sneaking up. Today, it helps when driving, playing sports, or navigating crowded spaces. Most of what passes through peripheral vision never reaches awareness, but it still informs posture, reaction, and mood. The subconscious is the gatekeeper, deciding which signals are urgent enough to push into focus. Every time you are startled by something moving out of the corner of your eye, it is proof that your subconscious has been watching all along. Subconscious imagery can alter heart rate. The body responds not only to real events, but also to imagined ones. Visualizing danger can raise heart rate, while picturing calm scenes can slow it. This happens because the subconscious treats vivid imagery as if it were reality, activating physiological responses. Athletes use this effect to prepare for competition, rehearsing movements and emotions in the mind until the body responds as if the event were real. Therapists use guided imagery to help patients reduce anxiety or manage pain, leveraging the subconscious to alter physical state. The conscious mind may know the images are imaginary, but the subconscious responds anyway. This shows how tightly thought and body are intertwined, and how much power the hidden mind holds over physical experience. To imagine is, in many ways, to practice reality, with the subconscious blurring the line between inner vision and outer world. Trauma can linger in subconscious networks for decades. Events of intense fear or pain may leave traces that persist far beyond conscious memory. Trauma can embed itself in subconscious circuits, triggering reactions years later. A sound, a scent, or a passing phrase may awaken emotions the conscious mind cannot explain. The subconscious remembers, even when words are absent. These imprints can shape behavior, relationships, and self-perception. Therapy often aims to bring subconscious memories into conscious awareness, where they can be processed and integrated. Until then, the subconscious may continue replaying echoes of the past, influencing the present invisibly. Trauma demonstrates both the resilience and vulnerability of the subconscious. It protects by burying unbearable memories, but it also binds the individual to them. Healing often begins by recognizing that the subconscious is not just a machine of habit, it is also the keeper of the most enduring emotional scars. Subconscious stress can slow down physical healing. The body's ability to repair itself is shaped not only by biology, but also by the subconscious. Chronic stress activates hidden pathways that release hormones like cortisol, which can suppress the immune system and slow recovery. Even when a person consciously feels fine, the subconscious may be carrying tension that subtly hinders healing. Wounds close more slowly, illness lingers longer, and energy remains drained. Studies have shown that patients with lower subconscious stress markers recover faster from surgery and illness. Techniques like meditation, therapy, or even laughter can reduce subconscious stress, freeing the body to heal more efficiently. This connection between mind and body illustrates the power of the subconscious in physical health. What lies hidden beneath awareness can either support or sabotage recovery, showing that healing is not only a matter of medicine, but also of the quiet mind within. Eye contact sparks subconscious trust signals. Looking into someone's eyes triggers immediate subconscious responses. Prolonged eye contact can create feelings of intimacy and connection, while avoidance may signal dishonesty or discomfort. These reactions happen without deliberate thought, as the subconscious interprets eye behavior as a window into intent. Experiments show that people are more likely to believe someone who maintains steady eye contact, even if their words are uncertain. This system likely evolved to strengthen social bonds, allowing humans to detect sincerity quickly. The subconscious acts as judge, weighing gaze patterns and producing an emotional reaction of trust or suspicion. Every glance you share is therefore more than a conscious exchange. It is a conversation between subconscious minds, speaking through the silent language of the eyes. Music can alter subconscious breathing patterns. When you listen to music, your body often responds without you noticing. Breathing synchronizes to rhythm, heart rate shifts with tempo, and muscles subtly relax or tense with the melody. These effects are orchestrated by the subconscious, which processes rhythm and emotion faster than conscious thought. Slow, steady music can calm breathing, while fast beats may energize it. Singers and instrumentalists rely on this subconscious connection to maintain timing and expression. Even listeners unaware of the effect are moved by it, finding themselves soothed or stirred by sound. Music bypasses logical thought and speaks directly to the subconscious, shaping the rhythms of the body in harmony with its patterns. It is one reason music is so universal. It connects instantly with the hidden mind, altering states of being without requiring explanation or deliberate control. Smiling can trick the subconscious into feeling happier. The connection between body and subconscious runs both ways. Just as emotions shape expressions, expressions can influence emotions. Smiling, even when forced, can trigger the subconscious to interpret the gesture as genuine happiness. This activates circuits associated with joy, lifting mood slightly. Psychologists call this the facial feedback hypothesis, and it shows how the subconscious reads bodily signals to infer emotional states. People who hold a smile during difficult tasks often report feeling less stressed, even if the smile was artificial. The subconscious is persuaded by the act itself, responding as if the emotion were real. This feedback loop demonstrates how simple physical actions can influence the hidden mind, which in turn influences mood. A smile is therefore not only an outward expression, but also an inward tool, a quiet way of nudging the subconscious toward brighter states. Nightmares are subconscious warnings about stress. When the subconscious is burdened by unresolved stress, it often expresses itself through nightmares. These vivid, unsettling dreams serve as signals that something within needs attention. The subconscious transforms anxiety into symbolic images, being chased, falling, or losing control. While frightening, nightmares may help process emotions and rehearse survival strategies. They can also act as warnings, drawing conscious awareness to pressures that have been ignored. In this sense, nightmares are not meaningless disturbances, but communications from the hidden mind. They reveal that subconscious systems are working to cope with strain, urging the dreamer to address underlying issues. Nightmares may be unpleasant, but they demonstrate the subconscious at work, translating invisible tension into imagery too urgent to be ignored. Restless leg movements can be driven by subconscious anxiety. Tapping feet, bouncing knees, or shifting restlessly are often signs of subconscious tension. The body channels hidden stress into small, repetitive movements, releasing energy that has no other outlet. People may not notice they are doing it until someone points it out. These movements are not random. They reflect subconscious attempts to manage arousal and discomfort. Restless legs often appear in stressful situations, during fatigue, or when the subconscious is overloaded. While sometimes linked to neurological conditions, in many cases they are simply the body's hidden language of anxiety. The subconscious acts through motion, even when the conscious mind insists on calm. Recognizing these patterns can provide insight into feelings that remain unspoken. The body becomes a mirror of the subconscious, revealing what words and thoughts have not yet admitted. Stage fright comes from subconscious fear circuits. Standing before an audience can trigger racing heartbeats, trembling hands, and shallow breath, even when the conscious mind knows there is no real danger. Stage fright arises from subconscious fear circuits mistaking social exposure for threat. The amygdala, a part of the brain involved in fear, floods the body with stress hormones as if survival were at stake. This reaction is deeply rooted in evolution, where exclusion from the group could mean peril. The subconscious cannot distinguish between public speaking and life-or-death danger, so it reacts with overwhelming force. With practice, many people learn to manage stage fright by retraining subconscious associations, gradually teaching the brain that visibility does not mean risk. Until then, the subconscious continues to react protectively, making stage fright one of the most vivid demonstrations of how ancient circuits still shape modern lives. Subconscious guilt can shape daily decisions. Guilt does not always announce itself. Sometimes it lingers quietly in the subconscious, influencing choices without clear awareness. A person may avoid opportunities, sabotage success, or act with unnecessary caution because of unresolved guilt buried below thought. The subconscious carries the weight, interpreting situations through the lens of past mistakes or regrets. This can manifest as hesitation, anxiety, or unexplained resistance. Psychologists often help people uncover hidden guilt by tracing patterns of avoidance back to their origins. Once brought to light, the feelings can be processed consciously, reducing their grip. Until then, subconscious guilt continues to shape behavior in subtle ways, steering decisions like a hidden compass, pointing away from resolution. It is a reminder that the subconscious not only remembers what we wish to forget, but also acts on those memories, quietly influencing the paths we take. The subconscious regulates hormone release automatically. Hormones govern growth, mood, stress, and countless other functions, and their timing is managed largely by the subconscious. The brain monitors signals from the body and adjusts hormone release accordingly. Cortisol rises in the morning to promote alertness. Melatonin increases at night to encourage sleep. Insulin is released to process food. All of this happens without conscious effort, controlled by subconscious networks in the brain and endocrine system. While the conscious mind may influence hormones indirectly through behavior, such as managing stress or choosing when to eat, the fine-tuned balance is maintained invisibly. This system highlights how the subconscious is not limited to thought or emotion. It is also the silent conductor of biological rhythms, adjusting chemistry moment by moment to keep the body in harmony with its needs and environment. Attraction can be triggered by subconscious reactions to scent. While vision and sound dominate conscious perception, scent plays a powerful role in subconscious attraction. Humans, like many animals, respond to subtle chemical signals that influence social and romantic behavior. These scents, often below conscious detection, can alter mood and preference. Research has shown that body odor can reflect genetic compatibility, with the subconscious favoring partners whose immune systems differ enough to produce healthier offspring. Perfumes and natural scents can trigger subconscious responses that shape how attractive someone feels. The conscious mind may not notice, but the subconscious is already making calculations, blending chemistry with perception. Attraction is therefore not only about appearance or conversation. It is also about the hidden dialogue of scent, where the subconscious listens closely to signals the conscious mind barely registers, shaping feelings of closeness, comfort, or desire without a word. Childhood songs often linger in subconscious memory for life. Music heard in childhood leaves a particularly deep imprint on the subconscious. A lullaby sung by a parent, a theme song from early years, or even a simple rhyme can remain vivid decades later. These melodies are stored not only as sound, but as emotional anchors, tied to moments of comfort, safety, or joy. The subconscious preserves them even when conscious memory fades. Hearing one of these songs in adulthood can unlock a flood of emotion, transporting the listener instantly back to early years. The effect is so strong because the subconscious encodes music alongside feelings, creating durable connections. Childhood songs are therefore more than nostalgic curiosities. They are enduring threads in the subconscious, weaving together memory and emotion across a lifetime, reminding us that the hidden mind remembers far more than we realize. False memories can be planted in the subconscious. Memory feels reliable, yet the subconscious can be persuaded to accept events that never happened. Experiments have shown that with carefully worded suggestions, people can remember childhood experiences that never took place, like being lost in a shopping mall or meeting a character at an amusement park. These false memories feel as vivid as real ones, complete with sensory details and emotions. The subconscious is especially vulnerable because it does not separate imagination from reality as sharply as the conscious mind does. This is why eyewitness accounts can be flawed, why nostalgia sometimes reshapes the past, and why therapy must tread carefully when exploring memory. False memories reveal the creative, reconstructive nature of the subconscious. It does not store experiences like a video recorder, but rewrites them constantly, blending truth, suggestion, and imagination until even the person recalling them cannot tell the difference. Sleep talking arises from subconscious processes. In the quiet of the night, words sometimes emerge unbidden. Sleep talking, or somniloquy, is the subconscious speaking, while the conscious mind slumbers. The phrases may be fragmented, nonsensical, or surprisingly coherent, yet they are not under deliberate control. Sleep talking occurs in different stages of sleep, sometimes linked to dreams, sometimes to random bursts of subconscious activity. The content often reveals little. Most spoken words are not direct windows into hidden thoughts, but the phenomenon itself demonstrates how active the subconscious remains during rest. Conversations can take place without awareness, startling listeners but leaving the speaker oblivious. Sleep talking reminds us that the line between wake and sleep is not absolute. Even when the conscious mind is silent, the subconscious continues to stir, occasionally sending words into the darkness as echoes of the unseen activity still unfolding inside. Automatic writing is guided by subconscious expression. When people engage in automatic writing, they allow words to flow onto the page without conscious planning. Writers sometimes describe the experience as their hand moving on its own, producing text that feels surprising even to them. This is the subconscious at work, shaping language without deliberate interference. In some cases, automatic writing has been used therapeutically, helping individuals uncover feelings or memories buried beneath awareness. Others use it creatively, finding that the subconscious generates ideas or imagery that the conscious mind might have censored. While claims of supernatural origin have surrounded the practice, the psychology points to a simpler explanation. The subconscious is capable of producing coherent expression without conscious oversight. Automatic writing offers a direct glimpse into the hidden voice of the mind, one that often emerges most freely when the conscious self steps aside and allows the deeper currents to guide the pen. Memory suppression often happens subconsciously. The mind protects itself by burying painful experiences. Sometimes memories of trauma are pushed out of awareness, hidden not by choice, but by subconscious defense mechanisms. This suppression allows individuals to function without constantly reliving distress. However, the memories remain stored, influencing behavior, mood, and even physical health. Triggers may bring them back suddenly, flooding the conscious mind with emotions that feel disproportionate to the moment. This is because the subconscious never truly erases it, only hides. Therapists often work carefully to help people retrieve and process suppressed memories in safe ways. While controversial at times, the phenomenon demonstrates how powerful the subconscious can be as a guardian, both shielding and constraining. It edits experience not for accuracy, but for survival, showing that memory is as much about what we forget as about what we remember. Subconscious learning can occur without realizing errors. Much of learning happens invisibly. When you practice a skill, the subconscious begins to adjust and refine even when you do not consciously notice mistakes. A pianist may play a passage incorrectly, yet through repetition, the subconscious corrects the timing until it flows smoothly. This is known as implicit learning, acquiring knowledge without deliberate awareness. Athletes, musicians, and even children learning to speak rely heavily on it. The subconscious monitors feedback and gradually improves performance, embedding the new patterns in memory. This explains why skills often feel easier after a break. The subconscious has continued processing behind the scenes. Conscious effort provides direction, but the hidden systems do much of the heavy lifting. Subconscious learning reveals the brain's capacity to adapt in ways that bypass awareness. allowing progress to unfold naturally, quietly, and efficiently, like a sculptor shaping stone while no one watches. Creativity during daydreaming emerges from subconscious wandering. When the mind drifts, the subconscious takes the lead. Daydreaming often brings unexpected images, ideas, or stories, as if the brain is rehearsing possibilities without being asked. Scientists call this the default mode network, a system active when the conscious mind is not focused on tasks. During these moments, the subconscious explores connections between memories, emotions, and imagination, generating creative insights. Many inventions, works of art, and solutions to problems have been born in daydreams. The wandering is not wasted time but subconscious exploration, making sense of experiences and testing scenarios. While society often values focus, daydreaming reveals the power of letting go. The subconscious uses the freedom to play, to combine fragments into something new. Creativity often emerges not when you push hardest, but when you release control, giving the subconscious permission to wander unobserved. Hypnagogic states reveal subconscious imagery. The moments between wakefulness and sleep, known as hypnagogia, are filled with strange images, sounds, and sensations. These fleeting visions come directly from the subconscious, blending fragments of memory with imagination. Colors shift, shapes morph, and voices whisper, often without coherence. Yet these states can also spark creativity, offering glimpses of ideas that later solidify into conscious thought. Artists and inventors throughout history have drawn inspiration from hypnagogic experiences, using them as doorways to the subconscious. Unlike dreams, hypnagogic imagery is often semi-conscious. You may know you are drifting but cannot fully control it. This twilight zone between awareness and rest provides a rare chance to witness the subconscious in action, painting its pictures directly onto the canvas of the mind, unfiltered by logic or reason. Lucid dreaming involves conscious dialogue with the subconscious. In a lucid dream, the dreamer becomes aware they are dreaming and can sometimes influence the story. This unique state blends conscious awareness with the subconscious world. People who experience lucid dreams often describe them as vivid and exhilarating, where they can ask questions, test possibilities, or even practice skills. The subconscious provides the dreamscape, while the conscious mind navigates it knowingly. Some use lucid dreaming for creativity, problem-solving, or overcoming fears by confronting them in symbolic form. Others simply explore the wonder of flying or bending reality. Lucid dreaming shows that the boundary between conscious and subconscious is not absolute. In rare moments, the two can meet, creating a dialogue across layers of the mind that are usually separate. It is a reminder that even in sleep, awareness can find its way into the hidden worlds of the subconscious. Meditation quiets subconscious chatter. Daily life fills the subconscious with noise, worries, habits, and automatic reactions that chatter beneath awareness. Meditation offers a way to quiet this constant hum. By focusing on breath, sound, or stillness, meditators gradually reduce subconscious turbulence, creating space for clarity. Brain scans show that meditation changes activity in areas linked to attention and emotion regulation, soothing subconscious reactivity. Practitioners often report feeling less overwhelmed, as if the subconscious has been gently untangled. This does not mean the subconscious disappears, but rather that its endless whispering is calmed. Over time, meditation can retrain subconscious responses, making stress less automatic and compassion more natural. It is a practice that speaks directly to the hidden mind, teaching it to settle and listen instead of rushing and reacting. In doing so, meditation reveals the possibility of peace within the deepest layers of the mind. Symbolism in dreams comes directly from the subconscious. Dreams often communicate in symbols. A falling staircase, a locked door, or a rushing river may not mean what they seem, but may represent subconscious feelings or struggles. The subconscious speaks this language of metaphor because it bypasses logic, weaving emotions into images. While not every dream symbol has universal meaning, many reflect personal experiences stored beneath awareness. A childhood home appearing in a dream may signal unresolved feelings, while an endless chase may embody stress. Psychologists have long studied these patterns, noting how the subconscious prefers images to words. Dreams reveal this symbolic voice most clearly, a kind of poetry written by the hidden mind. Whether or not interpretation is exact, symbolism shows that the subconscious is always translating emotion into imagery, leaving traces that conscious thought may only partly understand. Subconscious learning continues during deep sleep. Even in the deepest stages of sleep, the subconscious remains active, processing information absorbed during the day. Skills rehearsed while awake are strengthened overnight, as the subconscious consolidates them into long-term memory. Musicians, for example, often perform better after sleep, even without further practice. The subconscious is fine-tuning the patterns while the body rests. This hidden learning also explains why reviewing information before bed can be effective. The subconscious keeps working with it. While you dream of other things, the deeper mind is solidifying connections, ensuring that knowledge endures. Sleep is therefore not just rest, but rehearsal, a time when the subconscious continues the labor of learning. Consciousness may fade, but the student within never stops, proving that even in silence, the mind is busy preparing for tomorrow. The subconscious helps distinguish voices in noisy crowds. In a crowded room filled with overlapping conversations, you can still pick out a single familiar voice. This is the cocktail party effect, and it depends on the subconscious. While conscious attention struggles to manage multiple inputs, the subconscious filters sounds constantly, deciding what deserves focus. When a familiar name or tone is heard, the subconscious pushes it into awareness, allowing you to recognize it amid chaos. This process is so automatic that you may notice your name spoken across the room even when you are not paying attention. It demonstrates how the subconscious sorts through sensory overload, prioritizing information with personal or emotional importance. The ability to find a voice in the crowd shows that the subconscious is not only a background processor, but also an active filter, ensuring that what matters is never lost in the noise. Subconscious bias can shape hiring choices unknowingly. When evaluating candidates, employers may believe they are being objective, yet subconscious biases often slip into the process. Research has shown that names, accents, or subtle cues can trigger hidden associations, influencing decisions without deliberate intent. A resume with one kind of name may be rated differently than the same resume with another. These effects are rarely conscious, but stem from subconscious stereotypes shaped by culture and repetition. Such biases highlight the hidden influence of the subconscious on fairness and opportunity. Recognizing them is vital to countering their effects, and structured evaluations can reduce subconscious sway. Hiring, like many areas of judgment, is a partnership between conscious reasoning and subconscious influence. Awareness of this interplay helps ensure that decisions are guided not by hidden leanings, but by genuine merit. Implicit association tests reveal subconscious preferences. Psychologists have developed tools to measure the hidden leanings of the subconscious. Implicit association tests ask participants to quickly pair words or images, revealing subtle biases through reaction times. A person may consciously claim neutrality, yet subconscious patterns show faster associations between certain groups and certain traits. These tests do not accuse but illuminate the subconscious associations we all carry, often shaped by culture, media, or experience. They reveal how the subconscious processes information differently than the conscious mind acknowledges. By uncovering these hidden preferences, individuals can begin to challenge and change them. The tests demonstrate that the subconscious is not a silent partner, but an active force shaping judgment, even when awareness insists otherwise. Snap judgments are made subconsciously in fractions of a second. First impressions form with astonishing speed. Within fractions of a second, the subconscious evaluates faces, postures, and voices, producing judgments of trustworthiness, attractiveness, or competence. These snap judgments happen so quickly that conscious reasoning has no time to intervene. While not always accurate, they often influence decisions long before logic has a say. The subconscious is using patterns built from past experience, cultural learning, and evolutionary instincts to guide instant assessments. A stranger may feel safe or unsafe before you can explain why. These rapid evaluations show how much of social life is steered by subconscious mechanisms. Conscious thought may later revise or reject them, but the first impression often leaves a lasting imprint, shaped by the hidden mind working in silence. The subconscious keeps your body temperature stable. Whether in heat or cold, your body remains remarkably stable in temperature, thanks to subconscious regulation. The hypothalamus in the brain monitors internal and external cues, adjusting blood flow, sweating, or shivering automatically. These processes happen without conscious thought, keeping organs at the precise warmth needed to function. If you step into the sun, the subconscious signals sweat glands to cool the skin. If you walk into the cold, it commands muscles to shiver, generating heat. Consciousness may notice the discomfort of hot or cold, but the fine control is subconscious, continuous, and essential. Without it, life could not endure. The subconscious acts as the silent engineer of the body's climate, keeping the inner world balanced regardless of the outer one. Blinking rate is partly controlled by the subconscious. You blink thousands of times each day, yet rarely notice it. Blinking keeps the eyes moist, clears debris, and rests the visual system. While you can control blinking deliberately, much of it is guided by the subconscious. Interestingly, blink rate also reflects mental state. People blink more often when stressed, tired, or processing complex thoughts. Even subtle changes in emotion can alter blink rhythm, providing a window into subconscious activity. The automatic nature of blinking demonstrates how the subconscious manages tiny details of survival, keeping vision clear while the conscious mind focuses elsewhere. It is a reminder that even the smallest reflex carries traces of the hidden mind at work, maintaining balance with quiet precision. Typing rhythm reflects subconscious states of mind. When you type, your rhythm and speed are not only technical habits but also subconscious expressions. Stress, fatigue, or excitement can subtly alter timing, producing measurable patterns. Researchers have found that subconscious states are reflected in keystroke dynamics, allowing computers to identify mood shifts or even detect lies. These changes happen without awareness. The subconscious influences motor control, while the conscious mind focuses on words. Over time, each person develops a unique typing signature shaped by subconscious rhythm. It is a digital fingerprint of the hidden mind, revealing how, even in mechanical actions, the subconscious leaves its mark. Every line you type carries echoes of the unseen, expressed not in content but in cadence. Handwriting pressure is influenced by the subconscious. The weight of a pen on paper may seem trivial, but it reflects subconscious states. Under stress, pressure often increases, leaving darker strokes. In relaxed moods, it lightens. Graphologists have long studied handwriting as a mirror of personality, though much remains debated. What is clear is that subconscious tension and emotion leak into motor control, subtly altering force. Even people unaware of their own stress can reveal it through the depth of their writing. While not a perfect diagnostic tool, handwriting pressure demonstrates how physical actions carry subconscious traces. Every page written becomes not only a record of words, but also of the hidden feelings present in the moment of writing, preserved in the pressure of ink on the page. Handwriting slant reveals subconscious emotional leanings. The angle of handwriting, whether tilting right, left, or upright, often reflects subconscious tendencies. Rightward slants are sometimes linked to openness and sociability, while leftward slants may reflect introspection or caution. Upright writing suggests balance and control. These patterns are not deliberate. Most people do not consciously decide the angle of each letter. Instead, they emerge from subconscious habits shaped by personality, mood, and motor learning. While interpretation should be cautious, the principle is clear. Handwriting is partly a product of subconscious expression. The page becomes a canvas where the hidden mind leaves subtle signatures. Every curve, tilt, and slant reveals not only the words but also the unseen forces shaping them, reminding us that the subconscious is always writing its story alongside the conscious one. Speech rhythm is adjusted subconsciously for social harmony. When people talk, their voices don't just share words, they share rhythm. Without realizing it, you often begin to match the pace, pauses, and intonation of whoever you are speaking with. This subconscious synchronization makes conversations flow smoothly, creating a sense of connection and ease. Researchers have found that even strangers unconsciously fall into rhythm, echoing each other's speech patterns as though guided by an invisible metronome. The phenomenon occurs across cultures and languages, suggesting it is part of deep social wiring. The subconscious does this work automatically because aligning with others promotes trust and cooperation. Falling out of rhythm, by contrast, can leave an interaction feeling awkward or strained, even if you can't explain why. This subtle matching is one of the ways the subconscious helps maintain harmony in human groups. Beneath the words we speak lies a quieter music played by the hidden mind. Subconscious beliefs can intensify physical pain. Pain is not only a physical sensation but also an interpretation made by the brain, and the subconscious has a powerful influence on how strongly it is felt. If your subconscious expects pain, the experience can become sharper, almost as if the volume has been turned up. Studies have shown that identical stimuli can feel worse when someone believes they will be painful. Fear, anxiety, and hidden expectation prime the nervous system, magnifying signals. Chronic pain often involves this cycle, where the subconscious keeps sending alarms long after an injury has healed. The effect shows how pain is part biology and part belief. Just as the subconscious can protect you by reacting quickly to danger, it can also trap you in heightened suffering when it assumes danger where none exists. This hidden influence makes pain deeply personal, an experience shaped as much by the unseen mind as by the body. Pain relief can be boosted through subconscious expectation. The mind can make pain worse, but it can also make it better. When the subconscious expects relief, the body often responds by releasing natural painkillers such as endorphins. This is the foundation of the placebo effect, where even inert pills can create real reductions in discomfort if the person believes they will help. The conscious mind may doubt, but the subconscious listens to subtle cues of trust, the presence of a doctor, the ritual of treatment, the suggestion of healing. Experiments have shown that the subconscious can dampen pain signals purely through expectation, proving that suffering is not entirely physical, but also interpretive. This means that words of reassurance, familiar routines, and belief in recovery all matter because they prime the subconscious to ease the body. Pain relief is therefore not only medicine, but also the story the subconscious accepts and acts upon. Blood pressure shifts with subconscious emotion. The subconscious regulates countless bodily functions without pause, and blood pressure is one of its most finely tuned levers. When subconscious circuits sense fear or anger, the body prepares for survival by raising pressure, pumping blood forcefully to muscles in case of fight or flight. When the subconscious registers safety or calm, it lowers pressure, giving the heart and vessels a chance to rest. These changes often begin before conscious awareness, which is why you may feel flushed, tense, or dizzy only after the subconscious has already acted. Prolonged subconscious stress can keep blood pressure chronically high, while practices that soothe the hidden mind, like meditation, music, or laughter, can bring it down naturally. Blood pressure is not just a medical number, but a reflection of emotional life, shaped silently by the hidden mind, showing how feelings and physiology are inseparably bound. Goosebumps are triggered by subconscious fear signals. Tiny bumps rising on the skin are a visible reminder of the subconscious at work. Goosebumps are caused by tiny muscles pulling at hair follicles, a reflex that humans inherited from animal ancestors. In the wild, puffed-up fur made animals look larger to predators or trapped more heat in cold weather. Though humans no longer rely on this for survival, the subconscious still activates it in moments of fear, awe, or intense emotion. A haunting piece of music, a sudden chill, or the sight of something breathtaking can all trigger the reflex. It appears automatically, before you consciously recognize what you feel. Goosebumps remind us that ancient survival circuits are still embedded in the hidden mind, firing in response to signals it interprets as meaningful. They are one of the rare physical signatures of subconscious emotion, written visibly across the surface of the skin. Memory consolidation during sleep depends on subconscious work. Every night, while the conscious mind rests, the subconscious becomes a tireless archivist. Memories from the day are sifted, organized, and strengthened, a process scientists call consolidation. Skills rehearsed earlier, a musical phrase, a sports technique, a new word in another language, are replayed by subconscious circuits, reinforcing them until they become durable. Emotional experiences are prioritized, ensuring important lessons are not lost. Without this hidden work, memories would remain fragile and easily forgotten. Sleep deprivation interrupts it, leaving knowledge fragmented. The subconscious is, in effect, deciding what is worth keeping and what can fade, weaving new experiences into the long story of the self. This nightly labor shows that learning does not stop when the day ends. Even in dreams and silence, the subconscious is still at work, filing the library of memory so that waking life can build upon it. Subconscious processes determine how time feels to pass. The passing of time is not a fixed experience, but a construction of the subconscious. Hours spent in boredom feel unbearably slow, while joyful moments vanish in what seems like an instant. The subconscious decides how much detail to encode, and this influences how time is felt. Routine experiences are compressed, making them seem shorter, while novelty and emotional intensity are recorded more richly, stretching them in memory. This is why childhood summers seem endless, while adult years seem to slip away quickly. The subconscious is constantly writing a version of time based not on clocks, but on perception. Fear can expand seconds into eternities, while flow can dissolve entire afternoons. Time as lived is not the steady rhythm of physics, but the story the subconscious chooses to tell, shaped by emotion, novelty, and attention. Emotions often surface subconsciously before awareness. Long before you can put a name to a feeling, the subconscious has already set it in motion. A racing pulse, tightened muscles, or a sudden warmth in the face often occur seconds before the conscious mind recognizes anger, joy, or embarrassment. This is because emotional responses are survival mechanisms, designed to act quickly and automatically. The subconscious reacts first, mobilizing the body, while the conscious mind follows later, narrating the experience. This sequence explains why emotions can be difficult to control. By the time you notice them, they are already underway. Learning to recognize early physical cues can help, but emotions will always belong first to the subconscious. They are ancient, fast, and deeply rooted. Consciousness explains them after the fact, but it is the hidden mind that authors them in the first place. Micro-dreams lasting seconds are processed by the subconscious. Even the briefest dips into sleep can spark dreams. These micro-dreams, lasting only seconds, occur when the brain slips momentarily into dream states during extreme fatigue. A tired student may see strange images while blinking, or a weary driver may briefly drift into a surreal vision. These flashes are the subconscious seizing an opportunity to process imagery, even in tiny fragments of rest. Though short, they reveal how powerful the drive to dream is. Micro-dreams can sometimes spark creativity or highlight exhaustion, warning the conscious mind of its limits. They also show that dreaming is not confined to long stretches of sleep. The subconscious is eager to express itself whenever it can. Even in seconds, it rehearses, experiments, and imagines, weaving images that vanish as quickly as they arrive, but proving that the hidden mind never fully rests. Subconscious therapy can reprocess traumatic memories. Trauma often embeds itself in the subconscious, stored not as clear narratives, but as sensory fragments and raw emotions. This is why triggers can suddenly produce panic or flashbacks even when the conscious mind knows there is no danger. Therapies like EMDR, one-movement desensitization and reprocessing, or guided imagery work by engaging the subconscious directly. They help the hidden mind reorganize memories, reducing their emotional intensity and filing them safely in the past. The process does not erase the event, but changes how it is experienced, loosening the subconscious grip. Healing often requires this deeper access, because conscious reasoning cannot easily override the subconscious's protective alarms. Subconscious therapy demonstrates that real transformation is possible only when the hidden mind is engaged, teaching it that the danger has passed and allowing peace to return. Repetition trains the subconscious more effectively than explanation. The subconscious does not respond best to logic or argument. Instead, it learns through rhythm and repetition. Behaviors, phrases, or thoughts practiced over and over are absorbed until they become automatic. This is how habits are formed, whether they are useful or destructive. An athlete rehearsing movements, a musician repeating scales, or a child learning words are all relying on the subconscious to encode patterns through practice. Explanation can provide understanding, but it does not change behavior without repetition. The subconscious needs experience, not theory. Every repeated act carves a groove in the hidden mind, making it easier to follow again. Over time, repetition builds not only skill but identity, shaping the person you become. It is the quiet law of the subconscious. What you do often enough, it will learn, remember, and carry out without asking. Athletes use visualization to program subconscious success patterns. Many athletes train their bodies, but they also train their subconscious minds. Visualization, imagining a skill in vivid detail, activates many of the same brain circuits as physical practice. When a golfer imagines the swing, or a runner pictures the finish line, the subconscious treats the scene as real rehearsal. Studies have shown that athletes who combine physical training with mental imagery improve more quickly than those who train physically alone. The subconscious absorbs these imagined experiences, strengthening confidence, coordination, and accuracy. This shows how deeply it responds to mental practice, turning vision into performance. Athletes describe feeling as though their bodies already know what to do when the moment arrives, because their subconscious has rehearsed it countless times. In this way, visualization becomes a bridge between imagination and reality, programming the hidden mind for success. The subconscious reacts to metaphors as if they are real. Metaphors are not only figures of speech, they also reach into the subconscious as if they were literal. When someone says a heavy burden or a warm personality, the subconscious processes the words physically. Experiments reveal that metaphors about weight can alter judgments of seriousness, and metaphors about warmth can make people feel physically warmer or more trusting. The subconscious does not sharply divide the symbolic from the real. Instead, it blends them, reacting emotionally and physiologically. This is why stories, poetry, and advertising are so effective. They bypass logical analysis and speak directly to the hidden mind. Metaphor is its natural language, a bridge between idea and sensation. Through it, the subconscious responds not just to meaning, but to imagery, shaping experience as if words were the world itself. Body language decoding happens mainly in the subconscious. Most of what you understand from others is never spoken aloud. Posture, gestures, tone, and subtle expressions all carry meaning, and the subconscious reads them instantly. A smile that reaches the eyes, a tightened jaw, or crossed arms are interpreted before conscious thought arrives. This decoding explains why you often just know how someone feels without being able to explain why. The subconscious notices tiny details and assembles them into impressions of trust, openness, or threat. These signals guide interactions smoothly, allowing you to respond with empathy or caution almost automatically. Consciousness later constructs explanations, but the hidden mind has already made the judgment. Body language reveals how social life depends on subconscious intelligence, a silent translator constantly working, shaping connection and understanding in every moment. Subconscious processing predicts others' intentions before you notice. Human movements contain subtle clues about what will happen next. A shift of weight, a flicker of gaze, or a twitch of muscle often precede action by fractions of a second. The subconscious reads these signals automatically, letting you anticipate what others are about to do. Athletes rely on this constantly, predicting opponents' moves almost before they occur. But everyday life depends on it too, stepping aside before someone bumps into you, or sensing when a friend is about to speak. Conscious awareness usually arrives afterward, constructing the story of what happened, but the subconscious has already acted. This predictive ability shows that the hidden mind is not just reactive but anticipatory, preparing for the world's next step before you even know what you've seen. Group conformity is partly driven by subconscious signals. Humans are social creatures, and the subconscious constantly seeks belonging. In groups, this hidden desire leads people to adjust behavior, posture, and even opinions to align with others. The process is often automatic. Laughter spreads, postures mirror, and decisions shift toward consensus without deliberate thought. Experiments reveal that people will often follow a group's opinion even when they consciously know it is wrong, guided by subconscious pressure to fit in. This can create unity, but also drive conformity at the expense of individuality. The subconscious weighs the risk of standing apart and often chooses safety in numbers. It is a quiet but powerful force, shaping behavior not through reasoning but through the deep pull of togetherness embedded in the hidden mind. Laughter often begins as a subconscious response. People laugh not only at jokes, but also as an instinctive social signal. The subconscious triggers laughter in response to tone, rhythm, or shared emotion, often before the conscious mind registers a reason. This is why laughter is contagious. When others laugh, your subconscious mirrors the sound and joins in. In groups, laughter serves as glue, signaling safety and reinforcing bonds. It punctuates conversation naturally, easing tension and inviting connection. Sometimes people laugh even when nothing is funny, because the subconscious is responding to social context rather than humor. This reflexive laughter shows that the hidden mind values belonging more than accuracy. The conscious mind may look for an explanation afterward, but laughter begins as the subconscious announcing, "You are part of this moment. You are not alone." Subconscious fear can influence political choices. Fear is one of the most powerful subconscious motivators, and it often influences decisions long before reasoned analysis occurs. Political messages that emphasize threats, instability, or danger tap into these hidden circuits, shaping opinion at a level deeper than awareness. Even when voters believe they are making rational choices, their subconscious may already be leaning towards safety and security. Campaigns and propaganda exploit this instinct, knowing that fear bypasses logic and speaks directly to the hidden mind. It is not always negative. Appeals to protection and stability can unite communities, but it shows how political choices are often guided more by subconscious emotion than conscious thought. The ballot box, in this sense, is as much a reflection of hidden fears as of reasoned debate. Advertisers design colors to reach subconscious associations. Colors carry emotional weight, and the subconscious responds instantly to them. Red often signals urgency or excitement. Blue conveys trust or calm. Green suggests growth or nature. Advertisers carefully design logos, packaging, and environments to trigger these associations, influencing perception before words are read. Studies show that people make judgments about products or brands within seconds, based largely on color. These impressions form subconsciously, guiding preference and trust. Even cultural variations are absorbed by the hidden mind, which interprets hues through learned associations. Conscious thought may later provide reasons for choices, but the subconscious has already been swayed. Advertising succeeds not only through slogans or logic, but through silent conversations with the subconscious in the language of color. The subconscious filters background noise automatically. At any moment, countless sounds reach the ears: footsteps, humming machines, distant voices. Yet you are not overwhelmed, because the subconscious filters this flood constantly. It discards what is unimportant, allowing focus on what matters. A sudden crash, your name spoken, or a sharp change in tone, however, is immediately promoted to awareness. This process allows you to carry on conversations in noisy environments, tune up monotony, and remain alert to danger. Without it, consciousness would drown in sound. The subconscious acts as a gatekeeper, sorting the world into silence and signal. It works invisibly, shaping perception into something manageable, creating a sense of calm order amid chaos. Every moment of peace you experience in noisy surroundings is a gift from the hidden mind, quietly filtering life into what you need to hear. Your subconscious can wake you at a chosen time. Many people notice they wake moments before an alarm, as if a quiet inner clock rang first. That clock is real. While you sleep, the subconscious keeps time with circadian rhythms, hormone cycles, and subtle environmental cues. If you set a clear intention before bed, "Wake me at this hour," the hidden mind begins preparing. Cortisol rises earlier than usual, body temperature shifts, and the threshold for rousing lightens. The subconscious also remembers patterns. When you get up at the same hour across many mornings, it predicts the next one and primes the system. This is why travelers sometimes still wake at a familiar hour in a new place. The conscious mind drifts in dreams, but the subconscious monitors, counts, and keeps its promise. It is a reminder that sleep is not a total shutdown. Even at night, the hidden steward of the body listens for your instructions and quietly carries them out. Childhood trauma can resurface through subconscious dreams. Dreams often speak the language of the subconscious, images instead of arguments, symbols instead of explanations. When early experiences were too intense for a child's conscious mind to process, their echoes may persist as sensory fragments stored below awareness. Years later, they return in sleep, a faceless figure, a hallway without exits, a door that will not open. The dream is not a courtroom. It is a rehearsal space where feelings finally move. The subconscious selects metaphors that carry the emotional weight of the memory, nudging the waking self to notice what was buried. These dreams can be unsettling, yet they are invitations, not punishments. Therapies that honor dream material help translate its symbols into language, so the conscious mind can integrate what the subconscious has been carrying alone. Over time, the dreamscapes soften. The same mind that protected you by hiding pain begins to heal you by bringing it gently into the light. Subconscious beliefs can affect immune system strength. Your immune system listens to your hidden expectations. Hope, trust, and a credible sense of safety tell the subconscious to ease emergency signaling and divert resources to repair, while hidden helplessness keeps stress chemistry high and defenses dulled. Placebo research illustrates this beautifully. When someone truly expects improvement, the brain releases messengers that modulate immunity, reduce inflammation, and help the body recalibrate. The belief does not cure infection by itself, yet it sets a physiological stage where healing is more efficient. Conversely, chronic, unspoken fear keeps the body on alert, raising stress hormones that, over time, can make defenses sluggish. This is not an invitation to blame yourself for illness. It is an invitation to notice how deeply the mind and immune system converse. Rituals of care, trustworthy relationships, and soothing routines teach the subconscious that help is present. In response, the body acts less like a fortress under siege and more like a workshop, repairing what needs mending. The subconscious notices symmetry faster than the conscious mind. Before you can explain why a face seems balanced or a pattern feels pleasing, your subconscious has already measured it. Specialized visual circuits detect axis, spacing, and mirroring at high speed, delivering a feeling of harmony that the conscious mind later translates as beautiful or right. This swift detection likely evolved because symmetry can signal health in living things and stability in the environment. Artists and architects lean into this preference, arranging forms that the subconscious recognizes as orderly long before words arrive. Experiments show people can identify symmetry even when images are flashed too briefly to describe, evidence that the hidden mind evaluates structure first and asks questions later. The sensation of this fits is your subconscious reporting in its briefest form. When symmetry is slightly broken, the effect can be even more engaging. The subconscious notices the rule, feels the tension of the exception, and invites the conscious mind to linger and look again. Subconscious scanning makes you sense unseen movements. That tingle that someone has entered the room, the urge to turn before footsteps appear in view, these are products of constant, silent surveillance by your hidden mind. Peripheral vision tracks motion and contrast at the edges of awareness, while tiny shifts in air, sound, and shadow are sampled and compared against a vast library of expectation. The conscious mind gets only the summary, a feeling that something moved. Long before language, such sensitivity kept ancestors alive among predators and uncertain terrain. Today, it helps you cross busy streets, navigate crowds, and notice a bicyclist rushing from the side. The system is tuned for speed over certainty, so it sometimes delivers false alarms. But the cost of a quick glance is small compared with the benefit of catching real changes. What feels like intuition is often surveillance data gathered by the subconscious, compressed into a nudge. Look here, now. Your subconscious can learn complex patterns without awareness. You can absorb rules you cannot state. Psychologists call this implicit learning. After exposure to structured sequences, people begin to predict what comes next while insisting they are guessing. The subconscious has been tallying frequencies, spotting regularities, and storing them as tendencies rather than textbook rules. This is how children internalize grammar long before they can define it, how musicians anticipate progressions they never studied formally, and how experienced drivers read traffic flow without calculating brow. Anything. The hidden mind excels at this because it samples broadly and forgets slowly. It notices what repeats, weights what matters, and smooths exceptions into practical expectations. Conscious study can certainly help, but the deepest fluency arrives when the subconscious has had time to practice in peace. Then, under pressure, knowledge surfaces as ease. The right word appears, the right note lands, the right move happens, and only afterward does the conscious mind build a story about how it knew. The subconscious can suppress distractions to protect focus. Attention is guarded by a gate you rarely see. While you read, the subconscious dampens irrelevant sounds, dims movement at the margins, and lowers the salience of stray thoughts so the task can continue. This suppression is not rigid, it flexes with context. A sudden change, a sharp clatter, the whisper of your name is escalated to awareness at once. The hidden mind constantly negotiates this balance, preserving concentration when it is safe and breaking it when it must. With practice, the gate grows stronger. Rituals, familiar workspaces, and predictable cues teach the subconscious when to hold the line. Conversely, chronic stress loosens the gate, letting interruptions stream in. Recognizing this helps explain why a walk, a breath, or a minute of quiet can restore clarity. They reset the guard. Focus is not only willpower, it is also the skillful filtering of a vigilant, unseen partner. Word choice in speech is shaped subconsciously. Before a sentence reaches your lips, the subconscious has sifted through options with remarkable speed. It samples context, audience, and goal, then nudges selection toward words that fit. The right register appears without deliberation, idioms surface that suit the crowd. A softer synonym displaces a harsher one when diplomacy is wise. This machinery draws on enormous stores of memory. Conversations overheard, phrases read, tones absorbed. It also listens to the listener, updating choices in real time based on micro-reactions. A raised eyebrow, a slight lean in, a smile that reaches the eyes. You feel fluent because the hidden mind is drafting ahead of you, editing for rhythm and sense, while the conscious self tracks meaning. Occasionally, the process slips, and a stray word reveals more than intended. Most of the time, though, the collaboration holds. A seamless flow crafted by systems working faster than awareness can follow. Intuition often reflects subconscious expertise. A firefighter calls a retreat from a room that seems fine. A doctor orders a test without a textbook reason. A chess player senses a trap in a quiet position. These are not leaps into mysticism. They are the outputs of vast, well-trained pattern libraries. The subconscious has catalogued thousands of situations, outcomes, and tiny cues, a change in heat, a patient's tone, a pawn's placement, then compressed that knowledge into rapid, felt judgments. Intuition is the feeling of that compression unfolding. The answer arrives first, the explanation later. Because the process is tacit, it improves with experience and honest feedback. The more the hidden mind sees and the more cleanly results confirm or correct it, the more trustworthy its signals become. Treat intuition like a skilled colleague. Listen, verify, and refine. Over time, it will often be the quiet voice that saves minutes or a life. The subconscious decides when you feel hungry. Hunger is not merely a pang. It is a message composed by systems below awareness. The hypothalamus integrates blood sugar levels, gut hormones, stretch receptors, and timing habits, then crafts an urge calibrated to keep you nourished. The subconscious also responds to learned cues, the hour of a usual meal, the scent of food, the sight of a favorite cafe, and can trigger hunger even when energy stores are adequate. Stress and sleep loss shift these signals, altering sensitivity so that the body asks for quick energy more often. You experience a desire your hidden mind has already weighed dozens of variables. Understanding this can make self-care kinder. Regular meals, satisfying nutrients, and steady routines teach the subconscious that food is reliable. Then hunger arrives as a helpful reminder, not a noisy alarm, and the conversation between body and mind becomes easier to hear. Cravings are guided by subconscious nutrient needs. Not every craving is a trick of marketing. Sometimes the body asks, in flavor, for what it lacks. A pull towards salty foods can reflect a need for sodium after heavy sweating. A desire for citrus may appear when freshness and hydration are low. A longing for protein-rich textures can follow strenuous exertion. The subconscious monitors internal status and pairs it with learned experiences of relief, then sends a suggestion wrapped as taste. Modern ultra-processed foods complicate this messaging by delivering intense flavor without matching nutrition, training the hidden mind to chase signals that do not satisfy. Gentle structure helps. Balanced meals, consistent timing, and mindful pleasure recalibrate the association between craving and relief. Over time, the subconscious becomes a better counselor, asking for what truly restores rather than what merely distracts. Behind every urge is a negotiation, and with patient listening, it becomes more honest. Subconscious stress can weaken memory recall. When the hidden mind senses threat, it prioritizes survival over nuance. Stress hormones surge, sharpening immediate focus but disrupting the hippocampus, the brain's librarian for forming and retrieving memories. In exams, on stage, or during crucial conversations, the right answer can feel locked behind a door that will not open. Often, the knowledge is there. The key is stress. Long-running tension is even harder on recall, scattering attention and making details slippery. The remedy begins before the moment of need. Rehearsal that mimics pressure, breath that lengthens exhale, routines that signal safety. These teach the subconscious that the test, the meeting, or the spotlight is not a tiger. When the threat appraisal eases, the librarian returns to work, shelves in order, names and dates available again. Memory is not just storage capacity, it is also the confidence of a system that feels safe enough to fetch what you ask for. A single traumatic sound can lodge in the subconscious for life. The nervous system tags certain sounds with urgency. A slammed door during a frightening fight, a siren from a harrowing night, a particular ringtone that carried bad news. The subconscious pairs the sound with survival chemistry and stores that link tightly so future danger is not missed. Years later, the same sound may open the file instantly, heart racing, muscles tensing, attention narrowing, even if the present is safe. This is the system doing what it was built to do, albeit too thoroughly. Desensitization methods work by teaching the association, hearing the sound in calm settings, pairing it with slow breathing, or layering it under reassuring music so the body learns a new story. Over time, the volume of the alarm can drop. The memory is not erased, but the reflexive grip loosens, and the world becomes a little less booby-trapped by echoes. Childhood praise forms subconscious self-belief systems. The messages children hear about effort, kindness, and capacity do not only land in the moment, they crystallize as expectations about the self. Praise for strategy and persistence teaches the subconscious I can grow, while praise that fixates only on innate talent can make the hidden mind fear mistakes. Warmth and attention encode worth, chronic criticism encodes doubt. As adults, people often find the old voices still speaking, a quiet encouragement that steadies the hand, or a corrosive whisper that urges retreat. The good news is that the system remains plastic. Consistent, specific self-affirmations tied to real actions can update the script. Trusted mentors and evidence of progress help the subconscious believe the new lines. The story you repeat becomes the story you live. And with patience, the hidden narrator can learn to tell it differently. Capable, learning, allowed to try again. Subconscious body language can reveal hidden lies. Words can be steered, muscles often cannot. The subconscious coordinates micro-expressions and posture faster than conscious control, and when speech conflicts with feeling, small leaks appear. A smile that does not touch the eyes, a shoulder that rises with a denial, a quick glance toward the exit. None prove deception alone, but clusters of such cues hint at a mismatch. Skilled interviewers do not hunt single tells, they watch for baseline and change, context and timing. The point is not to punish but to understand. The hidden mind is signaling discomfort, fear, or the effort of fabrication. Honesty usually aligns speech, tone, and body with less effort. When they do not align, curiosity helps more than accusation. The subconscious always speaks. It appreciates being heard without being cornered. Subconscious memory guides driving on autopilot. Familiar routes dissolve into a gentle blur because procedural memory has taken the wheel. Through repetition, the subconscious has jumped complex sequences, mirror check, signal, merge, scan, into smooth routines that run with minimal oversight. This frees the conscious mind to plan the day, sing along, or think about dinner. The same automation that makes commuting efficient can make surprises dangerous, which is why the hidden system also watches for anomalies. A flash of brake lights, a pedestrian stepping wide, the glint of a bicycle. In the mirror, when novelty appears, attention snaps back. Autopilot is not inattention, it is expertise allocated wisely, most of the time. Respecting it means pairing routine with rests, limiting distractions, and refreshing the route when boredom dulls vigilance. The safest driver is the one whose subconscious is well trained and whose conscious mind is willing to wake when called. Sleep paralysis is linked to subconscious brain activity. During dreaming, the brain paralyzes most voluntary muscles so the body does not act out the dream. Occasionally, the switch misaligns. Awareness returns, but the body remains stilled. The result is sleep paralysis, a vivid, unnerving state where breaths feel heavy and imagined figures may appear at the bedside. Cultures have named these visitations for centuries, yet their source is physiological. REM-like paralysis lingering as consciousness rises, with the subconscious still generating powerful imagery. Understanding the mechanism can ease fear. Gentle routines that stabilize sleep, reduced stress, and avoiding abrupt awakenings lower the chance of the overlap. When it does occur, focusing on slow exhale and tiny movements, a finger, a toe, reassures the hidden mind that the state will pass. It always does. The same system that protects you in dreams simply needs another moment to hand the controls back. Subconscious signals can trigger sudden chills. A shiver cascading through the back can be a body's exclamation mark. The subconscious has evaluated a stimulus, a hollow silence in a dark hallway, a chord progression that blooms into wonder, a line in a story that lands exactly right and sent a burst through the autonomic nervous key. System. Blood vessels constrict, tiny muscles tug at hair follicles, and skin tingles with electricity. Fear can spark it, but so can awe, grief, or beauty. The reaction is fast because the hidden mind gives priority to meaning, not explanation. You might say, "That gave me chills," and only afterward find the reason. Rather than treating chills as random, consider them as flags. Something important passed through. The subconscious noticed and asked the body to pay attention, writing a quick, icy signature across the skin to make sure the moment was not missed. The subconscious constantly compares present events with past experiences. Every perception is filtered through a quiet algorithm of memory. The subconscious holds templates of voices, faces, spaces, and stories, then matches incoming data against them. A kind glance echoes a beloved teacher. A clipped tone recalls an unkind supervisor. A meadow's scent summons a childhood summer. When the match is comforting, ease spreads before thought. When it hints at danger, caution rises fast. This process is efficient and mostly accurate, but it can also trap people in old patterns, reacting to today through yesterday's lens. Changing the lens begins with noticing the echo. This feels like that, but it is not that. New experiences that safely contradict the template teach the hidden mind to update. Over time, the comparator grows more precise, and the present is allowed to be itself. The system is protective, not punitive. It simply needs better data and gentle proof. The subconscious is always learning, even when the conscious rests. When attention wanders, learning does not stop it, shifts departments. The subconscious continues sorting, associating, and rehearsing, strengthening connections that daylight began. During quiet walks and showers, it recombines ideas into solutions that arrive as sudden clarity. During sleep, it consolidates skills and stabilizes memory so tomorrow feels easier than yesterday. Even background exposure to language, music, or craft accumulates as familiarity that later blooms into fluency. This constant apprenticeship is why stepping away from a tough problem can help. You make room for the hidden mind to work. It is also why kindness matters in practice. When the subconscious feels safe, it explores freely. When it feels hounded, it retreats to rigid habits, trusted with good material, time, and gentle structure. It will return the favor with insight that seems to come from nowhere, except it came from you, still learning while you rested. And so, we come to the end of our quiet exploration of the subconscious mind. We've wandered through the hidden patterns of memory, the secret rhythms of the body, and the whispers of intuition that shape our choices every day. All of it, working tirelessly beneath the surface, guiding us silently from moment to moment. As you rest now, remember that your subconscious is still awake, keeping you safe, balancing your body, and weaving today's experiences into tomorrow's understanding. You don't need to direct it, or even notice it. The hidden mind takes care of the details, so the conscious mind can finally let go. If you are still awake, you are welcome to stay a little longer with us and let the next video carry you further into calm discovery. But if your eyes are heavy, then let them close. The subconscious will continue its work, quietly and faithfully, while you drift into sleep. Sweet dreams and good night.